Hi, welcome students. In the lesson, biotechnology principles and processes. Once again, today I am with you regarding some important discussion. One is the gel electrophoresis, and the other one is the PBr322 plasmid, the artificial plasmid. These two are having of utmost, these are of utmost importance as far as your examination is concerned, because usually these two are asked in the examination. So, starting with gel electrophoresis, if you try to recall the previous discussion on this lesson, principles and processes of biotechnology, we have discussed how recombinant DNA is constructed, and for the recombinant DNA, a foreign DNA is cut and incorporated into the plasmid. So the separation and isolation of DNA fragment is essential, and the cutting of DNA fragment, has been already discussed by the help of endonuclease enzyme. This endonuclease enzyme cuts DNA double helix into small and big fragments. In order to construct recombinant DNA, we need to get these fragments separated using a technique called gel electrophoresis. DNA molecule or fragments have a negative charge on it, and so they can be forced to move towards anode, the positively charged terminal in the gel electrophoretic apparatus, under electric field through a medium, the most common medium being agar gel. Agar gel is taken in the gel electrophoresis as a medium which is able to help the separation of DNA fragments. These fragments are separated according to the size through the sieving effect provided by the agar gel. Here in the diagram of your NCERT book in page number 198, you can see the figure 11.3 that is showing the apparatus of gel electrophoresis, and this apparatus has been marked as largest and smallest DNA bands. The largest or larger bands are wider and prominent red colored bands, whereas smaller and feeble bands of DNA are shown on the left and right side of the diagram separately. Another point that is prominently marked there is writing well, and this well is numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4. So these fragments are separated according to their size through the sieving effect provided by the agarose gel. Figure 11.3 is showing how smaller and bigger fragments have been separated, and figure shows well numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, through which the sample of DNA is loaded in the apparatus. The separated DNA fragments only after staining by ethidium bromide. These are one mark questions for you, that the stain used for the staining of DNA fragments in gel electrophoresis age. You have to write down there ethidium bromide, that is the stain used for staining of the DNA fragments, and these fragments of DNA cannot be seen under the normal visible light. We just provide an exposure of these fragments by the ultraviolet light, only then it can be seen. DNA fragments after taking above step can easily be seen. These fragments of DNA is cut out from the agarose gel and extracted from the gel, and this step is called elution. The fragment so purified in the is used in the construction of recombinant DNA. Now, this PBr322, it is an artificial plasmid constructed in the laboratory, and this is known as vector. Why do we say it a vector? It is because Vector is a term. I think you people are well acquainted with the term vector. Mosquito is an organism, and this mosquito is said to be a vector. It is because this mosquito carries the pathogen for malaria. So it is a vector. Similarly, this plasmid is a vector. It is because it carries a foreign DNA. That is why it is called a vector. And the name PBR322. This is the artificial cloning vector constructed in the year 1977 by Bolivar and Rodrigues. These were the two scientists, Bolivar and Rodrigues, and hence the name BR is there in PBR, and P stands for the plasmid. It is a plasmid, circular DNA. That's why it is a plasmid, and hence the name P. So PBR is clear, and the 322 is the name of the lot in the laboratory by which this plasmid was constructed. And this plasmid has the following salient features: the origin of replication, selectable marker, a recognition site, etc. The selectable For the selectable marker, there is a site on this plasmid, and that is known as the ampicillin resistant site and tetracycline resistant site, and that is known as AMPR gene, and one another is tetracycline TETR. These are the two genes on this circular DNA of plasmid, and this provides, if there is any cell that has such plasmid having MPR and TETR gene, it means the bacteria is able to have the resistance for these two antibiotics. The details of this PBR322 plasmid will be discussed in my next video. Thank you.